Self-defenders can never take the rules of firearm safety for granted. Hi everyone, this is John with today's active self-protection lesson. It's actually two videos, one out of Mexico and one out of South Africa. It's going to show us the incredible importance of the rules of firearm safety, and we're going to focus on the first two rules of firearm safety today, namely always keep your firearm pointed in a safe direction and always keep your finger off the trigger until you're ready to fire. In our first clip, these guys come up to rob this lady, and it's two people. You see the guy on our left is the gunman, and they're gonna shake this lady down, and when she doesn't comply like they want, guy's gonna hit her in the head with a gun and shoot his partner in the head and kill him, and then have to kind of figure out what's going on. In our second video today, this is in South Africa, and these are officers that are responding to a terrorist attack, to a significant event in South Africa, and you can see them here. They're gonna really kind of get down and see what's going on, and they are dealing with multiple attackers in this particular incident. Now, the thing that's going to be important to us is the officers behind and the officer in front. The officer who's in the middle of our screen right now, he's seeing what's going on, but he's not seeing his partner, and when his partner kind of wafts over towards him, he shoots him in the back of the head and ends his life, unfortunately. Now, they still got a huge fight to go, but they're an officer down, and that kind of fratricide's terrible to watch. Let's learn some lessons here. As always, there's 8 lessons on our website. Think about some of them here. First of all, from the perspective of the victim in this particular one, you see two guys that are armed. You don't have significant attitude, skills, and plan. Just let them have your bag, man. Just give them what they want and get them out of your vicinity, because otherwise you could really get hurt. Secondly, here is we see the first part of our firearm safety lesson out of this one. Thankfully, these are bad guys, right? Is I'm going to almost guarantee you this guy had his finger on the trigger. Now, I can't quite guarantee that. The resolution's not as good as it could be to show me that. But if not, he hit that girl so hard that it caused the gun to go off. And it reminds us that we got to keep our firearm pointed in the safe direction, because if the gun does go off, then it won't hurt somebody. But also to keep our finger off the trigger. I'm almost positive it was on the trigger, so then he had a sympathetic squeeze. So always keep your finger off the trigger until you're ready to fire. That was incredibly important here. Now with these officers, this one's obviously a tragedy, and you got to really watch your target and what's around you. The problem here is tunnel vision, is that they obviously have some significant threat that they're facing here. You see the guy with the rifle in front is going to take several shots, and these officers are very much worried about getting shot. So this is a live fire situation. But when you got somebody who's especially in front of you, you have to keep your vision seeing everyone, because you're going to see what happens here is the officer that's going to get shot is down below the officer who's behind him, and he is to the officer's left to our right. But what you're going to see is he's going to drift up towards that guy. He's going to move to his right, to our left, and then start to come up. You can see him take a shot there with his rifle, and as he's going to come to his right, our left, he's actually also going to stand up as well, and that's going to put him right in the line of fire. But of course, he doesn't have eyes in the back of his head. He can't see that. It's up to the officer behind him to make sure that his line of sight is clear. Now, there's certainly some bad luck there in the extreme, because, he was going to take a good shot, and in that second the shot broke, it went off. Now, of course, we got to talk about spiritual fitness and active self-protection whenever we see a good person who ends their life like this. And this is the kind of tragedy that we want to avoid by following the rules of firearm safety, by keeping our finger off the trigger until we're ready to fire, by keeping our firearm pointed in a safe direction. But you want to make sure that, you're right with God, and that you're right with your family, that you and Jesus have the relationship that you need to have, that you've said everything to your family that you need to, so that you're ready if today's your last day. Because this officer didn't wake up thinking it was his last day, and unfortunately it was. So make sure that you've got those as well. Spiritual fitness every day of the year, firearm safety at all times, so that we don't have accidents like this, and instead we cover our asp. Thanks for watching today's active self-protection lesson. I hope it helps you with your attitude, your skills, and your plan to keep you and your family safe. If you'd like another lesson in a similar vein, click right here to go see our most popular narrated videos. If you like what you see and you don't want to miss them going forward, please subscribe via the button right here and turn those notifications on so that you get notified every time a new active self-protection lesson posts.